examples of homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. As we have discussed, mixtures are of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. The examples we can take water plus copper sulfate. We are having the crystals of copper sulfate that I am mixing with water. So I had taken CuSO4 copper sulfate in the test tube. Now this one color of copper sulfate solution, you can see now I am adding that into this test tube. You can see the difference in the color of the solution. This solution is having beautiful blue color and still the crystals of CuSO4 are dissolving. This is also the solution of copper sulfate, but in that the amount of copper sulfate and water is less than this. Still, let us add some water in this. Still I am adding some water, right? Still I am adding the water. Now compare the color of this CuSO4 and this CuSO4 plus water solution. This is the example of true solution, which is homogeneous mixture. Why we are saying like this? Because in this you can see that the composition is uniform. Now we cannot see the particles of the solute in this, it is dissolved completely. I am having one more solution. We are knowing that after the displacement reaction, see this same copper sulfate solution, I had kept iron nail in that for 30 minutes. So the change in color of the solution from blue, it is changing to actually light green. And that light green color is because of the rust, the iron. You can see that just now the rust particles, rust molecules are settled down. So this is non-uniform composition, but here we cannot see any kind of that settlement of the particles at the bottom. If I will shake this, so now you can see that particles of the rust are moving in the solution. We are trying to discuss the properties of different kinds of mixtures. Basically, we are having three types: solution, which is also known as true solutions; colloids, which are known as sol; and the suspension. For understanding these properties, keep these two samples in front of you in your mind. This is the solution of copper sulfate and water, and this is the solution of rust and water. Once I am disturbing this solution for you, right? Now I think you can see the particles of this, and in little bit more time these particles will settle down. You can see that particles has been started settling down. Now the first property, solution is a homogeneous mixture. while colloid and suspension are heterogeneous type of mixture. Example of true solution, as I had given, water plus copper sulfate. For colloid, we are having lots of examples in our day-to-day life. Milk, butter, ghee, shaving cream, hair perfume, even we can think of cloud, fog, mist. Then we are having jams, we are having foam. All these are of different types of colloids which we are using in our day-to-day life. And for suspension, either like this, now you can see that particles of rust has been settled down. Besides this, chalk powder plus water, sand plus water, and even the non-homogeneous mixtures of different powders, as we are having copper sulfate crystals and iron fillings. That is also the example of heterogeneous mixture suspension. Based on this, the most important property, that is the size of the particles of the solute. In true solution, the diameter of the particle is less than 1 nm. Nm stands for nanometer, and 1 nanometer is equals to 10 raised to minus 9 meter. So that you can imagine how much smaller the solute particles are. Then first we will talk about suspension particles. They are larger than 100 nm in diameter, and colloids are in between true solution and suspension. So the diameter of the particle is in between 1 nm and 100 nm. Based on the size of the particles, rest of all the properties we can discuss for all these types of mixtures. We can say that particles cannot be seen even with microscope for true solution, as they are too small. For colloids, the particles can be seen with only very high power microscopes. But the suspension particles can be seen easily with the naked eyes also. As you can see over here, the particles are clearly separated from water. Then particles cannot be separated by filtration. Filtration is one of the technique to separate the components of mixture. We all are using filter for filtering the tea, or for filtration of water also we are having big filters. So the filtration is the process. Filter is the device with which we are doing the filtration, and the residue which are remain in filter, if it is there, and the solution which we are getting after filtration is known as filtrated solution. So the true solution particles, if I will pass this through filter, everything will be passed through the filter. That means it cannot be separated by the filter. Then next for colloid, I had told that milk is a colloid. So if we are passing the milk through filter, the small particles in the milk of fats and vitamins, they are not separated by filtration. So in colloids also particles cannot be separated by filtration. But in suspension the particles are bigger enough that when we will do the filtration, the particles of the solute will remain in the filter. So we can separate out these components of suspension by filtration method. Then next, stability of the solution. The true solutions, you can see that particles are not at all settled down anywhere in this solution. In other words, we can say that the solute particles are evenly, uniformly distributed in this solution. So, the true solution is very much stable. The colloids are also quite stable. Particles are not uniform in this mixture, but they are not settling down also. But in the suspension solution, if we will keep the solution undisturbed for some time, then that solute particles will settle down at the bottom. And that's why we can say the suspension solutions are unstable solutions. The particles of the solute, if we are keeping undisturbed like this, then they are not distributed uniformly, equally in the solution. It settles down, and that's why it is unstable. Then scattering the beam of light. This property is known as the Tyndall effect. In true solutions, the particles are so small that if we will throw the light on them, it will not scatter that light. But the colloids, the particles of the colloids will scatter the beam of light. That means we can see the movement of the particles in the light. Just imagine that in our home we are having very small hole in window or in the wall or in ceiling, and the sunlight is coming from that hole in the room. The particles of the air are not visible through the naked eyes. But just think, whenever we are seeing that beam of light on these air particles, we can see the beautiful movement of that particles. So, the particles of the colloid scattering the beam of light, and the suspension solution, that particles are also scattering the beam of light if it is disturbed. When it is undisturbed, the particles will be settled down and we cannot see the scattering of light.
आभार।